Hello and welcome to this week's Music Assembly. Now, while many of you are probably thinking, Miss you're a librarian, why are you talking about music? Well, I have a secret. I love listening to music, and the type of music that fascinates me the most are soundtracks from video games. You might think that television or film, maybe even the music industry itself, would be a more popular form of entertainment to tackle in regards to music. But in reality, the video game industry is the largest entertainment industry in the world. And with these games comes the music that makes them come to life. Video games rely heavily on music and sound effects to make their games stand out and set the tone of the world. Some tunes can stick in your mind for ages and ages. Take, for example, the theme of our lovable Nintendo mascot, Mario. This is a 40-second loop, but a lot of people recognize bits of the song, maybe even the whole thing. Game composers had to be extremely creative with what they were given to record music. The type of music they started to create was called chiptune, also known as chip music, which is a style of synthesized electronic music made using the programmable sound generator, or PSG, sound chips, or synthesizers used in vintage games. Mario's theme that's playing right now is an example of this form of music. Despite having limited methods of creating music, there were some composers that could create amazing songs from very few resources. These songs were then upgraded when a major advancement for chip music happened in the form of frequency modulation synthesis, or FM synthesis. You can hear the upgrade from a popular song in the game series Castlevania from the 8-bit chiptune era to the 16-bit FM synthesis. Video game music is known to take inspiration from well-known artists, from pop songs, rock and roll, or even from the most famous Western film music composer, Ennio Morricone. For those of you who have no idea who I'm talking about, he is the one who made such iconic music, you'll probably recognize it right away. Now that you've had the "ah" moment, I can continue. Composers take inspiration from all sorts, such as the case for Michiko Naruke, who adored the spaghetti westerns, or in Japan they called them macaroni westerns, both referencing an Italian-style western aspect, by using different pastas. I know, it's weird. Anyways, she went on to compose for a game series called Wild Arms, a spaghetti western-themed role-playing game. Many of the tracks in the game pay tribute to Morricone, and none of them are more obvious than the song called Lone Bird in the Shire, which takes from the song Ecstasy of Gold, from the film The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. Just have a listen. So what about the video games that want to branch out and create their own thing? Most game music now is performed by an orchestra, and more have vocals within the songs, allowing video game music to really make their own identity. Some songwriters go the extra mile and make up their own language for their songs, bypassing the need to have lyrics that make sense and simply give the people something pleasing to listen to. One of the masters in this art is Amy Evans, a London-born singer who works in Japan with a gaming company, providing her voice and lyrical talent to produce a solid and memorable soundtrack list. An example of this is her Song of the Ancients, which is complete gibberish. In an interview with Amy on this current song, she said, "I listened to as many different languages as I could on YouTube and took a little inspiration from each and jumbled them all together. I was happy with the result, but really anxious as to how I would be able to go on and create several more different sounding languages." Her other songs within the games, Nier Gestalt and Nier Automata, take on a unique sound and have ties to modern-day languages. Amy explains that, "The team decided they wanted me to imagine how our languages of today would sound after thousands of years. So with the exception of the Song of the Ancients, I felt that rather than creating made-up languages for each song, I was taking a specific language, respectfully manipulating it, and then aging it a few thousand years." So what was the point of this assembly? Well, I wanted to show everyone that music isn't just in the music industry or in films. It can be found everywhere and in places you least suspect. Video game music has a rich variety as there are so many different genres of games. You never know, you might find something incredible while listening to a video game soundtrack. Try it out sometime. Thank you for listening to my music assembly. I hope you enjoyed it and maybe learned a few neat facts.